If you don't have a why, you don't really want it. You don't really care that much. And guess what? You're going to not all the time and not in every case, but it's a greater chance that you fail because you have no real reason to go do anything. Have you ever found yourself asking the question, what is the point? Why am I doing this? And what am I to get out of this for doing it in the first place? Well, then you, my friend, are struggling with your why. That's okay, because millions of us do every single day. So today, I'd like to discuss with you the importance of knowing what your why is. What's your why? Why you need to have a why. Some goods, some bads, some uglies, and how to best use it in your favor. So, what's up, world? Welcome back to Tony Rocket Official, my page for all things positive. For those of you who don't know me and who are new here, I'm Tony Rocket. I am the Tony Rocket. So what's up? For those of you who are returning peeps, I love you guys, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Today, like I said, we'll be discussing the why. What's your why? Why do you do what you do? So, for me, this is a pretty easy topic, and I think for a lot of people, it's a pretty easy topic, especially in my position where I have a family, I have a wife, I have kids. I have people who are looking to me to be successful. They're looking to me to pave the way for them to do the things that they want to do and to have the things that they want to have. Now, when you're young, it's also pretty easy. You want to show and prove. You want to make your parents proud. You want to show the world that you're a capable individual. But somewhere in between being a little kid and being an adult, we go through this phase where we start to question our own confidence. We start to realize that there's so much in the world that is at our fingertips. There's so much potential for us to gain and acquire things that we don't necessarily look at the why. We start focusing on the how, right? And really, that's the problem. You shouldn't really focus on the how. The how shows up when the time is right and when your why is well defined. So, for me right now, outside of my kids, my true why, the why I do this channel, the why I work out, the why I pray and I meditate, the why I take time to learn certain things in my life is because I find it my duty and my responsibility to help and to teach others how to find themselves, how to find happiness, how to find confidence, and how to help make themselves better people. Because the better we are as a society and as a world, then the better the overall quality of life will be for everyone. To me, that is direly important. And it's like Michael Jackson said, right? You're looking at the man in the mirror. The person that needs to change is you first. And by doing that, then the world around you will change. So that's my why. That's my biggest why outside of my children and my family, my wife, making my mom proud, the common stuff, right? So for you, what do you want to do? Let me know in the chat. Let's talk about this. I need some discussion questions here. I want to be a great speaker. I want to be a life coach. I want to be an author. I want to be so many things that I have yet to do in my life, and maybe I've done them to an extent, but not at the level that I've been dreaming of lately. So for me, why is easy. It almost kind of falls in naturally at this point in my life to where I know I need to do or be certain things in order to achieve those goals. And I think sometimes we get lost in that mix. So, what I mean by that is, let's say money. I believe money is not necessarily a great why. It's a good motivator. If you know you can make some money, that's awesome. And if you have, a plan to make your money, that's great. But that's not necessarily the key element to your why, right? Are you bringing value to the marketplace? Are you helping people achieve something by you providing the service in which or the product in which you're choosing to provide? Maybe you just want to make t-shirts and you know you can make cash selling t-shirts, but guess what? You're providing style. You're providing swag or riz or whatever you kids want to call it, right? You're providing some level of confidence based on your unique style that you can use to change someone else's self-image, and that's a powerful tool. That's how you create value, and that's a good why. The money is so superficial that it doesn't even matter, and it's not going to motivate you to get up and do what you got to do in the morning. Now, let's say you have a normal 9 to 5 and you're busting your butt in a factory to make money to keep the lights on, to keep food in the fridge, to keep your old lady happy, to keep yourself happy. Those are the why. It just so happens that you get paid for doing the work that you're doing, and it's a motivator to get you to get up and go in the morning. However, the reason you're doing it is to provide a certain level of comfort for those people around you. So keep that in mind. It's the value that you're bringing to the marketplace that's providing you with the real why for doing whatever it is that you do each day. Seems like a pretty simple concept, but it's pretty elusive. And speaking of elusive, let's talk about that. If you start chasing things like money, success, whatever it is you are chasing, it's going to run from you. You ever see a hunter? A hunter will wait until whatever it is comes to him, and then he'll or her and they'll seize the moment when their prey is close enough to to get it, to kill it, to do whatever they got to do. Right? Does that make sense? If so, let me know. I'm trying to make sure I'm not crazy here. So make sure you go back and forth with me on this, right? If you don't have a why, you don't really want it. You don't really care that much. And guess what? You're going to not all the time and not in every case, but it's a greater chance that you fail because you have no real reason to go do anything. And that's okay. We've all been there, right? But think about the things that you have in life right now. Those things that you have, you wanted to a certain extent. It comes with the territory, the good, the bad, the ugly. I use that terminology a lot, but it comes with the territory. If you wanted to pursue your crush and date somebody that was special to you at that time, you were probably thinking about this person all the time. You probably thought that there was some sort of benefit in you being with that person, both for you and that person. So the utility of that relationship is high. Utility is the benefit for everyone, right? So the more thought power you put into whatever it is, and the bigger your reasons for doing whatever it is that you're doing, the faster it is that you achieve that goal, and the more likely it is that you have a higher success rate, right? It's not just wanting something, but a burning desire. You need for it to be a way, right? You need this job. You really need this job. So you've been thinking about the job. You applied for the job. You wore a suit to your interview. You knew what you were going to say. You knew how much you wanted to make, and you were ready to do the work. You studied it on YouTube, so on and so forth. And now guess what? Because your mind already saw the task complete message, it got done, right? So your why is the guiding force behind the need, right? Why do you need this job? Well, I need to make some money because I have to help my mom. Your mom is the why, right? I need this job because I want to go on this trip to Florida with my friends in February, and they're already doing what they need to get there, and I haven't saved a dime. I need to do this to join my friends, your friends, and this trip to Florida is the why. So now that you understand, hopefully, what I mean by the why and the deeper necessity required to make the superficial stuff motivate you, let's talk about something that a lot of people miss the point for, right? So going back to what I said about being elusive, if your goal is money or success or whatever, by chasing those things, it's gone. It's gone. The girl that you want doesn't want you. And that's no disrespect to anybody. The girl that wants you is the one that you're not even paying attention to most of the time, right? And when you're not paying attention to the thing that wants you, that generally means you're doing things to attract whatever it is that is looking at you or for you or whatever. So for example, if you are doing money making actions, you're setting up landing pages and capture pages, you have a solid product to sell, you have great marketing, you have awesome social media pages, and you have all these things, you're not necessarily worried about the money, but you've taken all the steps necessary to attract the money to those things, and ultimately you will receive a sale, you know, the better those tools that you're using are, the more sales you will make. But it's not because you were asking for money. It's because you were doing the things that was attracting the money to you. It's the same thing with relationships. It's the same thing with how our thoughts work in every scenario. Trust me, think about it, right? If you want a certain type of female, let's say, you want a girlfriend, and you walk around with a certain attitude about you. You dress a certain way. You carry yourself a certain way. You smell a certain way. What'll ultimately happen is you're going to attract to you the female that is interested in the way you look, the way you smell, the way you act. Those stimulated senses will attract a certain type of person to you. Your attitude will attract a certain type of person to you, and it's up to you to be able to discern whether or not that level of attractiveness that you're putting out there is actually working, right? So use that in every sense of the manner. You may have heard the expression dress for success, right? You could tell a lot about a man by looking at his shoes, right? But also, on the other hand, the man makes the suit doesn't make the man. So it's a mix. All these things are in conjunction with one another. How you look, right? If you look good, then you feel good, then you act good, and you are good. So you have to be able to throw it all together to make it make sense. And as long as what you visualize in your mind is in alignment with the actions that you're taking, then your mind sees it as a justification to your why. Therefore, you become much more likely to become successful at whatever endeavor you choose to take action for. So with that said, let's just think about that for a moment. Let's reflect on that. Does it make sense to you? If it makes sense, go ahead, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know that you are getting something from this, because that's what matters most to me. I don't want people to go out and say,
oh, well, he said this should work, so I should have whatever it is that I want because he said all I got to do is think about it like that.
No, like I said, it's a unity of thought, desire, action, consistency, knowing what it is that you really want, for one, and aligning yourself with the people, the places, and the resources that are necessary and making those things come true. It's a lot, right? But at the end of the day, it's really not, because you've done it. You're doing it. You do it every day, right? The problem is, once we get to a certain level, we find ourselves getting stuck in that level, and then we just kind of live in a repeat cycle where we get stuck for a little while, and then because we're ever evolving creatures, we get stale, we get bored, right? And now you have new dreams, you have new whys. You have to be aware of these new developments in your life. Write them down. Don't be afraid to keep a journal. Talk to yourself, talk to the Most High, and by doing these things, answers will reveal themselves to you, and you'll know why and when it is you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. And in that moment of clarity, when you get those messages, what often pops up is the how. We don't know how to do anything. All we knew how to do is get started and follow the signs, right? It's the same thing with school. All the knowledge of the world is within us. Everything that we ever needed to know is already within us, and it's up to us to bring it out, right? That's what it means to educate. And by doing that, we then realize that all the tools are actually available, but the only way to find those tools is to study yourself and the environment in which you're trying to be in, and to know why you really want what it is that you want, so you don't get bored and you're interested in the study. You gotta have some sort of interest and some sort of dedication to a particular task in order for you to achieve whatever level of success in whatever endeavor you're choosing to partake in, if that makes any sense. So don't sell yourself short. Almost got a little tongue tied there. And make sure you're doing the work on yourself, because you have to be the one that acknowledges these whys when they show themselves to you. So again, I really hope you guys got something from this video today. Feel free to leave me any comments, suggestions, questions. Just say hi. At the end of the day, I'm happy to have you guys here. For my new people, especially happy to have you guys join us. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. In the meantime, keep going, because you got this. And I'll see you at the top.